There is something extraordinarily rare about people who have been through hell and still choose kindness. They know what betrayal feels like. They know the suffocating weight of cruelty and what it means to be broken by someone they trusted with their whole heart. Yet, despite every reason to become cold, bitter, and closed off, they still choose to stay soft. They do not do this because they are naive, and they do not do it because they are weak. They do it because they made a quiet, heroic decision that the darkness they experienced would not become the darkness they spread into the world. By the time you finish this video, you will understand the deep psychology behind post-traumatic growth, and you will recognize that your ability to remain soft after being hurt is not a flaw, but the strongest thing there is. To understand why this choice is so rare, we have to look at what usually happens to the human mind when it gets wounded. When life hurts you deeply, the easiest response in the world is to let pain turn you bitter. You build massive emotional walls, you harden your heart, and you promise yourself that you will never be vulnerable again. Psychologists call this defensive hardening. It feels like protection, but it is actually a silent, invisible prison. When you let betrayal make you cold and cynical, you are allowing the person who hurt you to dictate the rest of your life. You carry their cruelty inside you, and without realizing it, you pass that exact same bitterness onto the innocent people who cross your path later on. You see this exact spiritual transformation play out in one of the most profound stories ever told, the journey of Thorfinn in Vinland Saga. After watching his father murdered in front of his eyes as a child, Thorfinn spent his entire youth consumed by hatred, violence, and revenge. He lived in the literal hell of war, becoming a ruthless warrior who saw enemies in every direction. He hardened his heart completely, believing that force and cruelty were the only ways to survive in a broken world. But when his path of vengeance collapsed, he was left with nothing but empty grief and the terrifying weight of his own past actions. When Thorfinn was stripped of his violence and forced to rebuild his life from scratch, he made a choice that shocked everyone around him. He did not become more bitter or vengeful. He looked at the endless cycle of violence that had destroyed his life and uttered 4 words that redefined his entire existence: "I have no enemies." His new softness was not born out of ignorance or cowardice. He knew bloodshed and cruelty better than anyone alive. He chose kindness because he realized that the only way to truly defeat the darkness was to stop passing it on. Thorfinn's story reveals a truth that most people spend a lifetime trying to understand. Anyone can turn bitter. Anyone can let pain make them cold and guarded. That takes no effort at all. It is just emotional gravity pulling you down. But to stay open after everything, to still love after being hurt, to still trust after being betrayed, that requires monumental courage. Stop looking at your softness as a flaw and recognize it as the ultimate proof of your survival. This single realization changes how you view your own emotional scars. When you go through the fire of betrayal or hardship and you refuse to let it burn away your humanity, you are performing an act of quiet defiance. You are declaring that your capacity for compassion is stronger than the cruelty of the world around you. The next time you feel tempted to close your heart and become cold to protect yourself, catch that thought in your mind and flip the script. Tell yourself, my softness is not weakness. It is proof that I survived the storm without letting it turn me into the very thing that hurt me. When you catch yourself thinking that being guarded is safer, remind yourself, I am not afraid of being hurt again, because my ability to love and stay kind is my greatest strength. That simple shift reclaims your emotional sovereignty. Think about how much power you gain when you choose softness over cynicism. In a state of bitterness, your mind is perpetually on the defensive, viewing every new person as a threat and reacting to the present with the fears of your past. But when you practice conscious vulnerability, your inner peace becomes unshakable. You give yourself permission to feel, to connect, and to live fully, knowing that no past betrayal can rob you of your core humanity. When you refuse to let pain make you cold, you break the cycle of suffering for everyone around you. You wake up without the heavy burden of grudge holding. You treat others with authentic warmth. And you realize that true strength is not wearing heavy armor, but standing in the world with an open heart. Nearly 2,000 years ago in ancient Rome, the emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius faced constant betrayal, warfare, and political intrigue. In his private journal, Meditations, Book Physics, Section 6, he wrote a single line that distills the ultimate triumph of the human spirit. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius understood that the highest form of victory over those who wrong you is not hurting them back or becoming cold like them. It is remaining good, kind, and human despite their cruelty. The ultimate revenge is proving that their dark actions failed to corrupt your soul. Take a deep breath right now. Honor the strength it took to keep your heart open. Leave a comment below sharing how you preserved your kindness through a tough time, and subscribe to join us on the next step.